Have you ever been in a relationship that felt like a masterpiece in the first month, only to become a mystery by the third? One week you're planning a future together, and the next you're staring at a scene receipt, wondering if you accidentally joined a witness protection program. Or maybe you're the one who feels that sudden, inexplicable urge to pack a bag and run for the hills the moment someone says, "I love you." If this sounds familiar, you're not just bad at dating and you're not crazy. You are likely caught in the avoidant cycle. Today, we are diving deep into the psychology of the avoidant attachment cycle. We're going to map out exactly how it starts, why it feels so addictive yet so painful, and most importantly, the psychological tools you need to finally break the loop. This isn't just theory, this is about understanding the blueprint of your nervous system so you can stop self-sabotaging the very connection you actually crave. To understand the cycle, we first have to understand the avoidant person. In attachment theory, avoidant individuals, whether they are dismissive avoidants or fearful avoidants, view independence as their primary source of safety. For them, vulnerability isn't a bridge to connection, it's a liability. But here is the irony. Avoidants often start relationships with more intensity than anyone else. This is phase 1, the golden period, or what psychologists sometimes call the mask phase. In the beginning, an avoidant person can be the perfect partner. They are charming, attentive, and highly skilled at reading your needs. Because there is no real threat of deep intimacy yet, they feel safe to perform. They show you their best self because the stakes are low. If you're the partner, you feel like you've finally found the one. But internally, the avoidant person is unknowingly setting a trap. They are building a level of closeness that their nervous system isn't actually equipped to maintain. Then comes phase 2, the trigger. This usually happens around the 3 to 6 month mark, or after a significant milestone like meeting the parents, moving in, or just a particularly vulnerable late-night conversation. Suddenly the intimacy feels real. To a secure person, this is a green light. To an avoidant person, this is a biological red alert. Their brain interprets this closeness as engulfment. They start to feel suffocated, like their independence is being swallowed whole. This is where the deactivation strategies kick in. Deactivation is a psychological defense mechanism used to squelch the attachment alarm. If you're the avoidant, you might start nitpicking your partner. Suddenly, the way they chew is annoying. You start focusing on their minor flaws to convince yourself they aren't the right one. You might stop texting back as quickly, cancel plans, or become incredibly busy with work. You aren't doing this to be mean, you're doing it to regain your sense of self-reliance. You're trying to breathe again. This leads us to phase 3, the push-pull tango. This is the most destructive part of the cycle. Usually, avoidants find themselves paired with anxious attachment types. When the avoidant pulls away to find air, the anxious partner senses the distance and panics. They lean in. They ask, "Is everything okay?" They send long paragraphs. They demand clarity. To the avoidant, this feels like an ambush. It confirms their deepest fear, that relationships are demanding, exhausting, and a threat to their freedom. So they pull back even further. They might ghost, shut down, or stonewall during arguments. Now, why does this happen? We have to look at the internal working model formed in childhood. Most avoidant individuals grew up with caregivers who were either emotionally unavailable, overly critical, or intrusive. They learned early on that expressing a need for comfort resulted in either rejection or being overwhelmed. So they made a subconscious deal with themselves. I will never need anyone again. If I don't need you, you can't hurt me, and you can't control me. This self-sovereignty becomes their armor, but in adulthood, that armor becomes a prison. It's important here to distinguish between the two types of avoidance because they experience the cycle differently. First, there's the dismissive avoidant. They usually have a high view of themselves but a low view of others. They genuinely believe they are better off alone and view needy people with a sense of quiet disdain. Then there's the fearful avoidant, also known as disorganized attachment. These individuals crave closeness deeply but are terrified of it. They cycle much faster. They might be incredibly clingy one day and completely cold the next. They are essentially anxious and avoidant at the same time, which creates an intense internal war. So, how do we break the cycle? If you recognize yourself in this, the first step is pattern interruption. You have to stop analyzing the why and start catching the when. When you feel that urge to pull away, stop and ask yourself, am I actually losing interest, or am I just feeling vulnerable? Research shows that smart people are the best at rationalizing their avoidance. They'll say, we just aren't compatible, when the truth is simply, I am scared. You have to learn to sit with the discomfort of being known. Another powerful tool is the 90-day rule. If you are dating someone new, commit to staying present and consistent for 90 days, even when the deactivation thoughts start. Don't make any big decisions about the relationship while your nervous system is in fight or flight mode. Treat your avoidant thoughts like weather. Notice them, but don't let them steer the ship. You also need to practice vulnerability in increments. Share one small, slightly uncomfortable truth with your partner today. See that the world doesn't end when you show a crack in your armor. If you are the partner of an avoidant, your job is to stop the pursuit. When they pull away, your instinct is to chase. Don't. Give them the space they are asking for, but do it securely. Say something like, I notice you need some time to yourself, and that's totally fine. I'm going to go do my own thing, and let's reconnect on Tuesday. By not chasing, you lower the pressure in the pressure cooker. You show them that you are a safe harbor, not a cage. The truth is, the avoidance cycle only ends when we realize that true independence isn't about being alone. It's about having the secure base to go out into the world and return to. Healing your attachment style is like rewiring a house while the lights are still on. It's difficult, it's messy, and you might get a few shocks along the way. But the alternative is a lifetime of surface-level connections and a lone wolf existence that eventually gets very, very quiet. If this video resonated with you, I want you to do two things. First, leave a comment below. Are you the runner or the chaser in your relationships? Just naming it can be the first step to breaking the spell. Second, hit that subscribe button. We talk a lot about the psychology of self-growth here, and understanding your attachment is the single biggest lever you can pull to change your life. You are worthy of a connection that feels safe. You don't have to keep running. I'll see you in the next video.